My product is great and I'm getting good quality leads as well, but my team is struggling to close the leads that I'm getting. This is one of the most common questions that I get from the tech founders, that their team is struggling to close the leads that they should have. Hi, my name is Sachin. I'm the founder of Diya Consulting, and we work with ad tech and service-based businesses and help them double their sales in 3 to 6 months. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 6 different closing techniques that your team can implement, irrespective who they are selling to, irrespective which industry you are in, and irrespective whether you are into product or service, or whether you are into B2B or B2C. So without any further delay, let's jump in. Before I share more about these closing techniques, I will also like to share with you that now these closing techniques are totally depend upon how the conversation has been so far with your prospect in your sales call. Secondly, whether you are selling to a B2B prospect or a B2C prospect, and also and how the prospect is engaged with you, whether they are really interested in the idea of your product or service, idea of what exactly you are doing, idea of their problem statement, whether they are really aware about the problem or the challenges. So all these things are very, very important factor before choosing these closing techniques. So make sure you conduct your call really well to gauge them, to get their interest, and to really have the idea where your prospects stand when it comes to your product or your service, and what is their level of interest. And based on that, you can use one of these techniques to close them up. I hope this was useful. Now let's jump on to our first closing technique. And the first closing technique is assumptive sales. Here, you are assuming that your prospect is already interested in your product or service, and how you can gauge them by properly conducting your sales call, from your setting the context to probing to listening to them carefully, what kind of words they are using, how well they are aware about their problems, how well they are aware about the solution of them as well, and how well they are aware about their product awareness as well, like which kind of product they are looking for or a service they are looking for in order to solve the challenge, problem, or desire that they have, which has not been filled so far. So assumptive sales close basically really work well when your prospect is really interested in your product and service, and you have done that validation in your probing phase. The only thing that you need to do in this assumptive close is to make sure that you take the entire conversation forward just to nudge them to make a decision and pay you the amount. Now, this closing technique really works well when you have different variety or different variants about your product. This is how basically it looks. Hey Sachin, based on the information you shared and the discussion that we just had, so you really feel that this is something that you're looking for that can really help you to solve your current challenges and help you to move forward. And when the prospects respond in yes, and then you go into the closing phase where you just nudge them up. So since you don't have any questions, shall we move ahead? Shall we move ahead where I can share more information about our quarterly membership and our annual membership? Again, the prospect respond in yes or no. And based on that, you get into sharing further information. Usually 70% of our ad tech companies that we work with go with our annual membership, because in that they get this additional benefits as compared to a quarterly membership, which again comes with a certain pros and cons as well. But yeah, it's totally up to you which one you would like to go ahead with. Do you want to go ahead with quarterly membership or annual membership? That's how you assume that they are already with you, and you are basically going to share with the information on variant A and variant B, where you also nudge them. Hey, majority of our customers go with this variant because of ABCD reasons. So that's how you basically use this assumptive close technique in whether they want to go with variant A or variant B, and based on the information, go ahead and close them up. Now you can use this technique in B2B as well and B2C as well. But yeah, as I mentioned to you, the most important caveat using this technique is your prospect should be genuinely interested in your product or service, and there should be proper fit in what they are looking for and what your product and service is doing. So that's our first closing technique, and that is assumptive close. Now the second technique basically is puppy dog close. Now this is a concept that has been taken from US markets, where earlier what used to happen is all the puppy stores, they used to offer the puppy for a day or two for the trial period, where people can take them to home, and in 1 or 2 days the entire family fall in love with those puppies, and then they do not want to return them back. And this is the same emotional trigger that all these puppy stores use to close the deals. So basically, if your product and service offer any kind of free trial where they can test your product out for a 7 day or a 3 day or a 15-day trial period, offer them the free trial period. And it is based on the assumption that so that people can really fall in love with your product and your services that you're offering, and based on that, and then they can proceed further to buy your memberships or product or service or whatever that you are offering. So that's what we call a puppy dog close. Now this you can use in a B2B. If you are into a software or any kind of service based business also, you can offer some kind of trial period or some kind of money back guarantee, where you are actually giving them a sneak peek into your product or service and how exactly it will be useful for them. And once that trial period is over, then basically you can upsell them and you can close them out for the deal. And this is again a closing technique that has been used by a lot of product based, specifically in softwares businesses, where they offer some kind of trial period to their customers, and after that they charge them the money. I hope this was useful. Now, moving on to the third closing technique, and that is called a scale close. Now, this is one of the closing techniques that we use in our service based business and highly recommend, specifically if you are into ad tech. Definitely, you should use it, especially if you're offering some kind of mentorship programs or any kind of skill related, or even you want to coaching and training or any kind of service based business. Definitely try that out. So, this is also referred to as a Gauss close. So, basically, you really want to gauge how much your prospect or the lead that you're talking to is engaged when it comes to your product and service and the problem that you are solving or the solution that you're solving, right? So you take the prospect temperature by simply asking them a point blank question, and that is on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, based on all the information that I shared with you so far, so based on all the information that I shared with you about the product or service and how exactly it works, on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 being the least, like you're not interested at all and please shut this call down, or and 10 being like this is exactly I need in order to solve my sales challenges and grow my sales. Where do you rate this product or service? Now, based on the answer they're going to give you, you'll be able to gauge where they stand right now. If they're giving a 10, again, you can probe them, hey, why 10? Is there any specific reason? Just curious to know. If they're going to give it 6 or 7, again, you can, before even revealing the price, you can check with them, hey, appreciate your honesty. By the way, why don't 10? Like, why 6 or 7? Can you just share with me that as well? So based on their answer, you're gauging them where they stand right now, and whatever the reason they share, why they have answered 10, in case they have given you 10. So that means they are very engaged, and most likely they will proceed further, right? And again, when you ask them why 10, why not less than that, what they are doing is they are actually selling to themselves by repeating what they really like about your product. If they are giving you 6 or 7, in that case what will happen is you can generally ask them, hey, why not 10? And when they're going to share with you why not 10, that means these are the doubts they are having in their mind before you even get into the closing and sharing the pricing part. So scale close is one of the most important techniques that you can use in your B2B, B2C, specifically a service based business. And I'm sure it's going to really give you a good clarity why your prospect is not moving forward and answer their doubts then and there itself. Do not wait to turn them into objection, but at the end of the call, when you're going to actually do the closing and ask for the money. Okay, so this is one technique I would highly recommend. Use this after you have pitched your product or service or given some kind of demo. On a scale of 1 to 10, how you will rate this product and service, whether you will need it or not in order to solve the challenges that you're looking for, where 1 being that it is total bullshit and 10 being that this is exactly you need. Because when you do this, you'll be able to gauge their interest, where they stand, and whether there is alignment or not. And this will give you a good clue whether they will go ahead buy or not. I hope you'll find this useful. In case you have any question related to the skill close, do mention in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Now let's jump on to the next technique, and that is scarcity close. Now, as the name suggests, basically it's just nothing. So it's just a FOMO technique, fear of missing out, where you give some kind of limited offers, a discount, some kind of a limiter basically you're putting in when it comes to using a close, specifically like festive seasons, new year sale, black friday sale. All these kind of techniques that you must have seen all across the world people are using, whether you are into product or service, a certain percentage off that you are offering for a certain period of time. So if you notice that people are not moving forward because of unnecessary reasons, use this FOMO technique. Use this technique to nudge them up to offer that extra discount or lure them that, hey, we are having this offer till this date time, and if you can enroll by then, we'll be able to pass on that benefit to you, which I'm sure will be useful for you, right? So you use this scarcity clause. But yeah, I'm not a very big fan of this FOMO technique because I'm a firm believer that do not offer discounts. Neither I ask, neither I give to people. So, but yeah, a lot of product or a service, B2C or B2B businesses are using this. So, in case you feel like that you are running some kind of time sensitive campaigns, some kind of promotional campaigns, festival campaigns, or New Year sales, definitely try that out to boost up your sales. I personally have seen companies doing maximum in sales when it comes to December as compared to the rest of the years because they use this FOMO technique a lot by offering them certain discount and closing them in that year itself. So do try this out in case you are having a product or a service, and in case you are running some kind of these promotional campaigns where you can offer some discounts to your prospects. Now moving on to the next close, which is basically take away close. Now this technique capitalizes on people's desire for things that they cannot have, and also known as reverse psychology. Now, this is one of my favorite techniques that I personally use with a lot of edtech founders to close high value deals. Now, here basically what we are doing is we are just reversing the role. Instead of me selling a lot about my product, rather what I do is I just do a switch where I just reverse the role. In the first interaction, I literally tell them that, hey, it seems like that we are not a right fit because we work with companies like ABCD who are doing around 15 lakh, 10 lakh a month and help them to double their sales. You seems like a startup who are around 3 to 5 lakh rupees in sales revenue. So this might not be a right fit for you because we work with companies who are charging premium for their product and service, and that's where we are helping their team to grow their sales. But seems you are not the right fit. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm just selling myself. Instead, the other person show the curiosity that hey, it's not the case. Yes, we are not selling at that premium level, but this is our desire that we want to work with somebody who is helping these companies to grow further. So what they have done is automatically in their mind they have sold my idea to themselves without I uttering any word. So this is what we call a reverse psychology, and I will highly recommend use this technique if you are into high ticket sales, whether it's a product or whether it's a service, whether it's a B2B or a B2C. And specifically I would highly recommend use this for a B2B business, and I'm sure this will really gonna be useful for you. But you need to be very careful when you're gonna using it, because you need to again gauge the interest of that human being by asking a lot of questions. Okay, do not use this randomly to anyone. Please make sure that you have gauged the interest, where they are, you have checked their temperature, whether they are really looking for a solution, although they are not aware what kind of solution they are looking for, but they are looking for some kind of solutions. And definitely use this technique, and I'm sure you will find this useful, right? So this is a takeaway close. Again, if you have any question, go ahead and put in the comment section. And the last one is called summary close. Now as the name suggests, is basically summarizing the entire close and specifically mentioning those key pointers that basically determine whether the prospect will move ahead or not. For example, this is a technique that can be highly useful in a B2B sales where there's a lot of competition among vendors. Now, while deciding the vendor, what companies you do is they have a certain parameters and checklist, okay, that they keep in mind. And based on that, they decide on those vendors, right? So if you are aware what are those checklists, what exactly they are looking for, and if you can specifically talk about those checkpoints in your closing again, just to nudge them up, because they have so many competition, because they are not sure whether to go ahead with A, B, C, D, there what you can do is you can actually re-summarizing the key pointers that they are looking for while deciding on the vendor. So for example, if a product A is costing this much and they are providing service once in a week, here my product is here which is offering you this much amount of saving along the same line. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be interacting with you twice in a week or thrice in a week, so that there's a total transparency and there is a speed in the execution of the entire process and implementation, right? So this is how basically you summarize the key points that are really critical while deciding on which vendor they should go for. So this is very important. Now how you come to know what are those criteria? Again, by doing your probing really well, by asking those questions what exactly they are looking for when they are deciding on a vendor, right? So this is what we call a summary close, and this is highly recommendable and suggested for B2B specifically. Again, whether you are into service or product, please use them, and I'm sure you will find this useful. So these were the 6 different closing technique that are there in sales that you can try based on whether you're into B2B, B2C, based on how much prospect is engaged with you in your call, and also whether you are selling a product or a service. Try them out, right? So I'm just re-summarizing all 6 once again. First we talked about assumptive close, second was puppy dog close, third was scale close, which is basically a comparison on a scale of 1 to 10. Fourth was scarcity close, which is basically a FOMO. Fifth one was takeaway close, which was a reverse psychology. And last one is summary close, right? Where you're basically summarizing the key points only during the time of closing and taking the deal forward. So I hope you'll find this video very, very useful. It is one of the longest video that I've created so far, I think, on my channel, but I hope you will find this useful. And in case you have any questions, you can put that in the comment sections. And if you want to connect directly with us and see how we can probably help you to double your sales in 3 to 6 months, then you can find the link in the description below. Schedule your one-to-one call where we'll try to understand what exactly your business is doing, where you're stuck at. We'll try to find out the loopholes and try to see whether we can really help you to scale your business in next 3 to 6 months in 2025. So I look forward to connecting with you, and I will see you in the next video.